This is my first attempt at a YouTube video. My name's Chris. I'm the founder of Catalyst Marketing, a performance marketing agency based down in Brighton for SMEs and local service-based businesses. Today, I'm going to be going through some of the top 5 things that I think are most important for SEO at the moment. So there's obviously a lot of change happening in the industry, and I was asked the other day by a reporter what my top 5 things would be for people to focus on. So the first topic that I think is really important, I'm going to try and cover all different sort of industries here with these answers and explanations. A really unique beast when it comes to digital marketing. It can be notoriously difficult to rank for organically using SEO. Obviously, I know a lot of e-commerce websites are going for like paid ads, social ads. Social's obviously very big if you're B2C. So that's definitely something to consider. But when it comes to SEO, I think people think that there's a lot of giants out there that are really difficult to compete with. So if you think about the likes of Amazon, if you're in the sports industry or sports and fitness, like you've got Decathlon, you've got JD Sports, you've got all these other giants that are going to be outranking you for your core product. So I think when it comes to SEO, what I'd advise is FAQs. I think FAQs are huge for e-commerce at the moment in terms of SEO. You should be adding these to every single page. So you should have obviously an FAQ section on your website, but adding these onto the product pages as well. So you're anticipating what your user may ask and what their top questions are around this product. So just go into detail, make it look great on the website, of course, but just go into detail about how they can use your products, demos, who it's good for, what it does, everything about it. Just answer more and more questions. And the reason for that is LLMs are obviously huge right now. A lot of people are doing the top of funnel searching using LLMs, but when it comes to the high ticket or high intent keywords, people are still going to Google. I mean, Google's still the biggest search engine despite the rise in ChatGPT and Gemini and things like this. People are still going to Google to find products, but people are doing a lot of research at the top. If you want to get that exposure at that top of the funnel, answering all these questions in as much detail as you can, just having the answer there in a simple way that the AI can, and LLMs can pick up and suggest you an answer. That's going to be the best way to get coverage in terms of AI search engines. And also to do with the LLMs as well, what I would suggest is LLMs are going to be looking at a lot of different elements when it comes to who it recommends within its search chat. So it's going to be looking at Reddit, it's going to be looking at YouTube comments, it's going to be looking at Instagram, which is now being ranked on Google. It's going to be looking at any posts on Pinterest, it's going to be looking on forums, whatever it may be. This is just general advice for anyone doing SEO and to appease these LLMs. It's to be having a lot more brand mentions, so to be mentioned across all these different platforms. Where you might needed to before just optimize just for Google, so you're just ranking on Google when somebody types in your product or a question around your product, you should now be looking at responding to a thread on Reddit, posting on Instagram about it, going onto a unique forum or discussion or anything like this. It feels like what people used to do, old school SEO used to say social mentions aren't really important, they don't carry as much weight. But now that AI is looking for real people to give their advice and opinions on your brand and your product, it wants to see you across as many platforms as possible, and then to give the user one single place to get all of the answers and all of that reputation built up across all these other platforms in a single place. So definitely start thinking more about brand, digital PR, getting mentioned on these other websites. Some people call it parasite SEO or barnacle SEO, making sure that you get exposure on these websites that not only might rank better than you, but that you now know LLMs are going to be looking on to suggest to their users. The next step for e-commerce SEO would be, let's take an example, a hyper-specific use case for your product. So if you sell camping equipment, for example, you don't want to just target camping equipment or outdoors camping equipment, anything like this, and you low down the funnel but really high intent. You want to go really niche, where there's no competition, where there are people that are searching for something really specific and are ready to buy. So rather than just camping equipment, you might want to go for something like camping equipment for elderly people, or camping equipment for mountainous areas, or camping equipment for the Welsh countryside or English countryside, whatever it may be. You want to do some research around this, obviously, and have a look at what people might be typing in. But the best way to think about it is to take your core product and then add something on to the end of it. So for this, or to do that, or whatever it may be. Just think of how can I target this keyword, make it more niche, so the person who is that for, whoever that is if when they find your page, they are ready to buy it. That's exactly what they're looking for. They've been waiting to find this. And create an entire page around this. Create a whole page just around that one unique that one unique keyword, and optimize for it really well. Just do the traditional SEO around it, get it ranking. You're going to find that you can rank really quickly, really easy for these keywords. And although they're low search volume, you're still going to be finding really high intent buyers. You might only get, 20, 30, 40 searches a month, but 90% of them may be buying because it's so niche and you've got no other competition. So another point I was asked about, what do people think, or what do I think is the best way to use ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever you prefer, to create content for SEO. Now, obviously it's really, really powerful. It's gonna speed up everything that you can do. It's gonna help you optimize. It's gonna help you bulk out some pages where you previously would have taken hours to write. You can now do it obviously very quickly. The only issue is anyone can get in a car and drive it. It's not too difficult. Turn the steering wheel, push the pedals. But if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna crash. And it's the same with using ChatGPT or LLMs to create content. If you just go in, and it's really simple at first, write me a blog around this, it's just gonna spit out something generic that, who knows, Google might be able to pick up and actually, penalize if you're writing too much AI content. I know there's been case studies and examples where people have ranked entire websites with ChatGPT content and it had no penalization. So that's one reason. But the other one is that it just won't reflect your brand. It'll be generic. It's going to have no tone of voice. What you really want to do is make sure you feed ChatGPT as much information about you, your brand, your tone of voice as possible, and then you ask it to write around this way, and then definitely go over it, retweak it, add something in there, add personality. There's so much content out there right now, guys, that it's going to be so boring if you just write another article around how to design a bathroom. It's been done. Add something, add a unique twist, and think about the strategy behind it. Think about your audience, think about where they're going to read it, think about how they like to read things, and just add it as much as you can. What I think LLMs are best for is actually taking a piece of content or an idea, or even coming up with these strategies and ideas, obviously, coming up with these and then turning one idea into several pieces of content. So you can say to it, okay, I've got this idea, this is what I'm gonna write, this is who I'm gonna write it for, these are the pain points, I wanna add my personality in, but help me turn this into a Reddit post, help me turn it into an Instagram, LinkedIn, blog, new landing page, whatever it's gonna be. It's gonna be really helpful there, more so than actually just running and being the voice of your business. If it's gonna be the voice of your business, you're gonna go downhill quickly. Schema, I think, obviously very, very important for local service businesses. I would say it's almost like the third most important thing when it comes to SEO at the moment. I think it's super underrated. I think a lot of people overlook it. People don't do it properly, and it really needs much more time and attention and care than people are giving it. I think it's become much more important, especially when we're looking at local SEO. If you're using an LLM to search something like best dental implants near me, obviously it's going to look at all the traditional SEO, it's going to look at your content, it's going to look at the PR and brand mentions like I said earlier. But at the same time, it's also really important that you're getting some of the core fundamentals absolutely nailed. So your Google My Business profile, your local citations, your local schema, it's all super important. If anything, I think it's become more important because so many people are doing it wrong. They're focusing on all the other things like, pushing out blogs and content and landing pages, which has worked so well historically, and it does still work well, but they're overlooking some of the basics. And I think schema is really important for local service businesses, but also for any other type of business as well. Make sure you use it on your FAQs, your product pages, if you're e-commerce. Don't overlook it. Google LLMs is how it's going to read and find out what exactly you're talking about and what the product or service is about. And it's going to be really, really powerful if you get it right. I think creativity is really overlooked at the moment. You can use everything that we spoke about previously, but if you're not actually tailoring it to your audience, you're thinking about who your audience is, then it's going to fall through and it's going to show, especially if you're just creating generic ChatGPT content. So if you think about a local service business, if we take a kitchen company, for example, and we work with a kitchen company down here in Brighton, they have multiple showrooms throughout Sussex and Surrey. And what we found really important is that depending on the town and where they're based, so Guildford, for example, around there, they have a lot of cottages. They have a lot of farmhouse type kitchens or just older type of homes that were built, 200-300 years ago. And they look completely different to the ones that are in Brighton. There are no new builds, or there's very few new builds. So when we're creating content for that client and for that location specifically, we're trying to rank for it. In that content, we're including things about the type of homes in that area. We're not just putting generic content about a new kitchen can do this is why you should visit a showroom, this is how you design one, etc. That's all in there in the blogs and the guides, and it's building up the topical relevance with these LLMs. But when you have somebody who's searching locally and you've got your on page, you've got your schema correctly, and this LLM's trying to show somebody who's going to be most relevant to this person in Guildford, and there's a blog or a landing page that's actually talking about these are the type of homes in Guildford, this is what you have to consider when renovating a kitchen of a 300-year-old home. That's the sort of stuff, that's the sort of detail that one, your audience is going to find amazingly useful, but also LLMs are. They're going to see that you've gone into that extra detail. So really think about the strategy, the creativity, and who you're talking to about this. Don't just pump out and think generic, because everyone can do that now. And that's why SEO probably seems so difficult right now, but it's really easy. It's adding in that humanity, that human level, and thinking about your customer, showing that you know them really, really well. How do you do this? How do you approach it? What's it looking like? So I would say the most important fact is that around about 35 to 40% of all clicks that happen on Google still go to paid ads. And that's a massive amount. So if it comes down to you and a competitor trying to compete over an area or over a product or whatever it may be, if they're running paid ads and you're not, they're getting 40% extra clicks. It's just happening because that's the facts. That's what Google is seeing come through paid ads. So if you don't have that exposure, you won't be getting it. And you can be at the very top, but we've seen Google now, there's sometimes 4 ads above that, especially if you're a local service business. You can have 3 ads ahead of that, and then you can have sponsored maps listings as well. If you're e-commerce, you can have all the shopping ads. There's so many ways and so much screen time before seeing the organic ads that it's just, you need that exposure in the paid section to actually really scale and boost your business and get that edge on the competition. So I'd say use it to your advantage, use it wisely. If you don't have a budget to be super competitive, start focusing on the high intent keywords. Focus on keywords that you know have a 30, 40, 50% conversion rate, or when people type them in, they're going to go to a landing page that is super relevant to them. So focus on where you know you can get conversions from first. That's going to be the first place to look at. Also, use it to target keywords that you don't yet rank for. So if you know there's a big keyword that you're going for and you're on page 2 for it, start running paid ads around that. And then when you start seeing more organic traffic coming through to that landing page, then you can maybe scale back that ad or that keyword if it's an expensive keyword, and you can let the organic do a bit of the work. Also, what I think is really underrated when it comes to Google Ads is the amount of data it gives you in terms of what people are searching. Now, Google Analytics, Google Search Console, they give you nowhere near as much data because it's a free platform. Google don't want to tell you exactly what your users are searching and what to optimize for, but when you're paying for it, they're more than happy to let you know. So you can see in the search report, every single query, keyword, search term, what people are typing in to actually find your brand, and you'll be amazed at the ways people write, the way that they search your brand, or different words, terms, and terminology that they'll actually use to find you. And now you can start optimizing that. You can start using that into your content, into your SEO, into your social posts even. It's a really powerful way to find out exactly what users are searching for and how you can kind of respond to that. Cool, okay, that was my first YouTube video. Don't know how that went. Hopefully you got something helpful out of it in terms of what I think are the top 5 things SEOers, businesses, marketers should be paying attention to at the moment. And yeah, see you next time.